Budget, Bluetooth, Twitter. Hi, and welcome back to Julie Meets World, or welcome for the first timers, and welcome back to my series, Julene Meets Carnival, where I talk about going to Carnival for the first time. I'm specifically going to Trinidad Carnival in February 2020. Yay! Carnival Monday is in 4 months. 4 months! This is video number 3 in my Julene Meets Carnival series. In today's video, I'll be talking about budgeting and sharing my budget spreadsheet with you. In video number 1, I talked about getting flight, hotel, and costume. In video number 2, I talked about exercising and dieting, and I'll actually put a link to those videos in the description below. So definitely check those out after watching this video. But hold on, have you subscribed to my channel yet? No? What are you waiting for? Go hit that subscribe button below, right there, down there, and hit the bell so you can stay in the know about when I post new videos. Okay. So, budgeting. Some people might be scared of the word budgeting, and some people might have never made a budget before, but I love to budget. I love spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets. Like, if a spreadsheet were to manifest as a person and they were to propose to me, I can't think of any reason not to say yes. But that's how much I love spreadsheets. I can go on spreadsheet, not rants, but whatever the opposite of rants are on Twitter. I will be like, oh my gosh, spreadsheets are so amazing. They're so good for this and this and this. And I love to do this with my spreadsheet, blah, blah, blah. That's how much I love spreadsheets. Yeah. As I said in the beginning of this video, I'll be sharing my Carnival budget template with you. So I'll put a link to that in the description below. So definitely click on that and you can make a copy and edit it to add your own information. And throughout the video, I'll be going through different sections and explaining different sections and talking about how you can add information or what kind of information might be useful to add there or how I've been using it for myself. So stay tuned. You won't be seeing as much of my face in this video today, but it will still be useful information. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the spreadsheet. So once you click the link in the description below, this is what the spreadsheet will look like. You will have to make a copy of the spreadsheet for yourself because you will not be able to edit the spreadsheet, and that's good for a couple of reasons. One, you don't want to be editing a spreadsheet that is publicly shared and putting your information out there. And two, you don't want somebody else who you don't know to be able to edit your information. So you want to go up to File, and then click Make a Copy, and then enter the relevant information, share it with whomever you want to share it with. For example, probably do not click Share it with the same person, and save it wherever you want to save it. At the top of the spreadsheet, you'll see that there's a general budget, which is kind of like a summary of all the sections that are in the spreadsheet. And there are a few items that will not have their own section. So for example, here Panorama doesn't have its own section. It is one event, one date, one price, so it doesn't need to have more information about it. And so this general budget is comprised of 4 sections. First, I have all the items that I think I'll be spending money on, and then followed by that is the budget section, which is how much I think I'll be spending on it. And this is where you might need to do some research to determine maybe how much a flight costs from your city to Port of Spain or to whichever carnival you're going to, or how much you spend on money on clothing in the past and things like that. The next column is how much you've actually spent. So as you spend money, you fill in this column, and or if you have already been spending money, you can fill in what you've already spent so far. And the 4th column is a surplus or deficit column, which keeps track of how much you're over or underspending. So positive numbers are good. That means that you have a surplus and you're underspending and you've saved some money in that category. Negative numbers are not so good because you're overspending and you might need to start thinking about how to cut back on spending on that category or see if you've made a surplus in other categories that can balance that out. There might be some things that are missing from this list, and you can always just right click and add. For example, I just realized I didn't put any money for food, so I can just right click, add food, and then later on figure out how much I think I'll be spending on food when I'm in Trinidad. And the first subsection is flights, which can be changed to just general transportation if you're traveling to somewhere that is within your country, or you can travel by land, for example, or if you're taking a cruise. I don't know. And then I leave the first column empty just to keep track of that, use that later to track which decision I made, which flight I chose. And then I list the different flight options. So if you saw my first video, you would have seen that I was undecided about which dates or when I want to go to Trinidad. So this would have been useful for making that decision. So you can keep track of the price of a flight, which airline is hosting that flight, when it leaves, how many stopovers it might have. So the format is departure airport, stopovers in the middle, and the final destination airport, how long the flight will last, and then the same thing for the return flight from Port of Spain back to your home airport. And so here you want to maybe think about, okay, if a flight is cheaper but it's longer, is it really worth the cost? Will I have to take off an extra day so I can travel to get there the same time and stuff like that? So for example, here I would have been like, oh, paying the extra $150 is better than traveling for 25 hours. Things like that to think about. But maybe for you, you're like, I can travel for 25 hours, no big deal. Next is accommodations, and similar to flights, I leave the first column empty for later use when I choose my final accommodation option. And then I list the different information for each accommodation option. So for example, looking at the airports the hotels that are available, how far they are from the main activities that I'm interested in. So for example, in the case of Trinidad, how far they are from the savannah maybe. And then when I check in, when I check out, how many days I'll be there, and the total price, and then the average nightly rate. That average nightly rate might be very useful for comparing, just for a proper comparison of how much one hotel costs versus another, stuff like that. Especially if you will be staying, you're thinking of different numbers of nights. Then we have the costume section. So here I list the different sections that I was interested in. I basically went through all the tribe bands, and then I made a short list of the ones I liked, and then listed information for those. So you want to list the section of the band, the name of the band, the name of a link to that section's costumes, and then list the pricing details for each section. So for example, I put the backline price, what it includes in that cost, maybe some upgrades that are optional, and then the same thing for frontline, what it includes, and then for a lot of the bands, the frontline costumes had mandatory upgrades, which meant you needed to get a collar or a backpack and stuff like that. And then listing the cost for some of those additional pieces. And then below that, I do a combination of all the different pricing options that I'm interested in. So for example, if you are also interested in maybe getting feathered legs, you can always be like, okay, I think I want the backline costume with a collar and feathered legs. So you can just say equals sum, the backline price, collar price, and the feathered leg price. And there you have, it costs $1,037 for that. And once you decided on a costume option, I'd recommend just highlighting whichever you choose. So for example, if I choose Papillon, I go there, highlight, and then I highlight the costume combination as well. And once you actually make the deposit or make your payment on that costume, you want to go up top and enter that. So here, for example, I saved $353 on my costume. Yay, I can spend that money elsewhere. The next as a costume, I'd say Monday wear. Personally, I'm not planning to buy any Monday wear because I've been seeing some prices and I'm like, I can easily just go and get a swimsuit top and wear some jeans bottoms. But anyways, if you want to get Monday wear, I have a section here for you. Basically, you just want to go put the name of the designer, maybe the link to that designer's website or the specific costume you're interested in, the price, and what that price includes. And then similarly, go up top and list the price for how much you spend. So for example, here I saved money on costume, but now I have money to spend on Monday wear. Yay! I'm still within my budget. The next is this fet list. So I was able to get this fet list from a Facebook group that I'm in, and I just copied and pasted here. And then I updated the dates because the fet list was from last year. And so these dates are all estimates, but they should be pretty much accurate unless the promoter decides to go rogue and choose another day of the week from what they normally do. The times, however, might be off by an hour or two. So just, definitely this is not a Bible, this is not like the law. Don't go do your own research. And basically what I did was use this first column to go through the different parties that are happening and put the price of the ones that I'm interested in, and that helped me to create my budget. And then once the Fet tickets come out and I actually start buying tickets, I highlight that row first of all to signify that I bought that ticket, and I update the price. And then below that is Juve, which is laid out pretty much similarly to the Fet list. It has day, date, time, promoter, Fet name, cost, and what's included. That's basically the most important information. Location, I feel like, is, of all this information and excluding the price, that's probably the thing that's also highly likely to change. So definitely want to do your own research. One thing I forgot to mention about the Fet list is that it is not exhaustive. There are definitely Fets that are not on there. So if you see a Fet that you like, just put it on the list. Put it on your own spreadsheet. And the last spending section I have is a shopping list. So like any trip that you might take, you might need to do some shopping beforehand. And this shopping list that I have here is based on my readings for preparing for Carnival, as well as just general travel knowledge. So for example, a lot of people say you might need gel inserts for your shoes, a fanny pack for when you're on the road, fishnet stockings for Monday and Tuesday, outfits for the fets that you want to go to, general footwear, sneakers, sandals, whatever, and medication, just in case anything goes wrong. So if you are taking medication, definitely make sure you stock up on it and bring it with you, as well as, general medication like Advil or anything for a flu or the headache or anything like that. And hopefully it's a nice and sunny day, and you want to be prepared to protect your eyes. So get some sunglasses if you don't already have. One thing to note about shopping lists is that Black Friday is coming up, especially for those persons who are based in the US or who do shopping in the US. Black Friday is coming up, which means that there will be a lot of deals, a lot of discounts on clothing and footwear and makeup and stuff like that. So if you're going to be spending money anyway, you might as well buy the things at discounted prices. Work smart, not hard. Not advocating for spending more money than you plan to spend, but if you're already going to be spending, you might as well save on that spending. The last section I have is a day-to-day layout. I am not a over planner, but I do like to have an idea of what's happening during a trip, and there are certain things that you definitely have to plan beforehand. So for example, I've inputted the flight and my flight to Trinidad, as well as my flight from Trinidad. These are not my actual flights, people. Don't try to hunt me down. As well as certain things I know I'm already planning to go to. So Juve, Carnival Monday, Carnival Tuesday, they're all in here. Panorama, I already know when that is. And once you start buying your Fet tickets, you already know when those are taking place. So just input those as well. If you are undecided about certain things, here's where you can put the different options. So for example, if you're thinking about maybe going to Tobago on Ash Wednesday or staying in Trinidad and doing some touristing, you can put Trinidad touristing versus Tobago, go to some fets or stuff like that here, and weigh your different options as well. So that was my budget spreadsheet template. So if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, feel free to leave those in the comment section below, and I'll try to reach out to you, or you can reach out to me on Instagram at JulieMeetsWorld, and I'll try to answer your questions as best as I can. And I hope you found this video useful, and I hope maybe it's inspired those of you who aren't budgeters to become budgeters and be financially responsible. Yay! Always upvote for financial responsibility. So before you go, definitely remember to like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share this video with your friends. Friends help friends be financially responsible. Bye!